Welcome to this tutorial on tables and figures. We have two objectives in this tutorial. The first one is to explain how to create tables using the tabular environment. The second objective is to explain how to include tables in LaTeX documents using the table environment. A similar technique can be used to include figures also. We have seen how to create the title page. This one has title, author information, and Creative Commons copyright information as explained in the tutorial on equations. Today's date appears in the last column created by this command. Let us go to the second page. I will now explain to you how to create this table in a step-by-step fashion. Let us start with a clean slate. Let me delete these commands. I compile this and start with a clean slate. The tabular environment is created using begin tabular and end tabular commands. Let me do that here. The RR characters within the braces next to the begin tabular say that there are two columns and that they are right aligned. In the first line, the entries are mango and mixed. Two reverse slashes indicate next line. Let me enter the next line. Jackfruit, Collie Hills, banana, green. Let me end this tabular environment. Let me compile this. And this has appeared here. We get the 3x2 table. There are 3 rows and 2 columns. The 2 columns are right aligned as indicated by the RR character. To separate the 2 columns, we introduce a vertical line between the column alignment characters. So let me put that vertical line, save it, compile it. You see that a vertical line has come. If you want vertical lines at the end also, put them at appropriate places. Let me put them, save them, compile them. So these have come. As a matter of fact, we can put more vertical lines. Let me put one more vertical line at the beginning. There you are, a second line has come. See the 2 vertical line. We will now try different alignments. Let's put a C here to say that the second column should be center aligned. This is center aligned now. Let us make the first column left aligned. Right now it is right aligned. Let me make them left aligned. L, save, compile. Now it is left aligned. We will now separate the rows with horizontal lines as follows. Let us put a H line here Let's see what happens when I do that. It puts a top line. If I put another H line here, see, a line has come. So let me complete this. Let me put H line. Here I have to put break line with 2 reverse slashes, then H line. H line begins from the beginning of the sentence. So now I have completed the horizontal lines. Now let us add 3 more columns and 1 more row. So what I do is I come here and C, R. So I have added 3 more columns. First 2 of them are center aligned. The third one is right aligned. And then here I want to say fruit type, number of units, cost per unit, cost rupees. H line. So mixed 20, 75 rupees, 1500 rupees. Jackfruit, 10 of them, 50 rupees, 500 rupees. Banana green, 10 dozens, 20 rupees a dozen, 200 rupees a total. So let's see whether we can compile this. So it has created the table. See the need for right alignment? This is so that we can add these numbers. Suppose that we want to split the columns in 2. For example, here these 2 columns have fruit details, these 3 have cost calculations. So this is done with the help of what is known as a multicolumn command. Let me do it as follows. Multicolumn, take 2, center aligned, fruit details. First 2 are over, then I put a tab to indicate the next column. Go to next line. Multicolumn 3, also to be center aligned, cost within braces, cost calculations slash H line. So there you are. First 2 have the title fruit details, the next 3 have the title cost calculations. I don't have the vertical lines, that's because I didn't tell LaTeX to do that. So let's do that. Here I want 2 vertical lines, here I want 1 vertical line. Before this I already have the line here, so let me just include this here. See what happens. So now the vertical lines have also come. Because these 2 and 3 are single character arguments, it is possible to write them without braces. Okay, same thing works. Sometimes it is necessary to draw horizontal lines between only a few columns. So we explain this as follows. Let me split this mango instead of mixed. Let me call this Moldova, and then 18 kilograms, 50 kilograms. Let me delete this. Okay, and here let me say that it is Alfonso, 2 dozens, 300 rupees a dozen, a total of 1500. Let's see what happens when I save this, compile this. So I've got this. What happens is this line comes here as well as here. I don't want this and this. So this is taken care of by saying, instead of this horizontal line, I want a C line, and between the columns 2 and 4. So I should have done this here. So let me put this back here. H line here, C line 2 to 4. Okay, so now I have the line between columns 2 and 4 only. So this center line has split the mangoes into 2 of the most popular mangoes in India. We will conclude this table with a last row. Let me total up as follows. Multi-column, 4, 2 vertical lines, right aligned, and a vertical separator. Total cost rupees. Close this. Next tab, 2200. H line. So there you are. So this was the table that we started with at the beginning of this tutorial. How do we work with the tables created using the tabular environment? LaTeX treats the entire table created using the tabular environment as a single object. For example, if we write this is an example this is an example table, what happens is this table gets sandwiched between these two. This is an example table. This table appears in a running sentence. It is possible to include tables using a center environment. A more common approach is to include it in the table environment, as we show now. Begin table, close this, so what happens is, now this is an example table, this statement comes separately, and whatever that appeared between this begin and end table have been placed separately as a table. In other words, even though the table appeared in between some text, it has been put separately. This is not centered. What I can do is give a command here called centering to place this at the center of the document. Let us now create a caption. Table caption is put before the table. Let me put a caption here. Caption: cost of fruits in India. So the caption has come. This is too close. I want to leave a small space. Let me do that by giving, through this vspace command, 1ex. That is the space equivalent of the x character. So I have left this vertical space, so now it looks okay. By default, LaTeX places tables at the top of the page. This placement is done automatically. The table is sorted to the next available slot. To explain this, let me cut and paste some text from the bottom of this document. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Let me, alright, now there is some write-up about these fruits. Let me go to the top of this, paste it here, compile it. So as before, the table got placed at the top of this page. Let me put some more text here, 4 copies. So now what has happened is this table has been floated to the second page, and there is nothing else here, so it has been placed at the middle of this page. Then we put one more copy of this, some more text. So now what has happened is, this is the title page, this is the text page, table has been sorted, it has gone to the top of this page. As in equations, we can also create labels and use them for referencing. For example, you give this command below the caption command. You have to give it below the caption command because it is the caption command that creates the table number. For example, here table 1 has been created automatically by this caption command. If you put the label after this, this label will refer to the number created using the caption command. So label fruits. So let me just go back and say, let me add this line here. The cost of these fruits is shown in table reference. You have to give the label, which should be the same as this, tab fruits. Let me compile it. So there it is. On first compilation, this variable is not assigned, so let me recompile it. So now I have got this. We can create a list of tables automatically, as we explain now. After the make title, suppose we want this list of tables, one word, give this command. So what has happened is, it has created list of tables. Typically, one will have to compile twice to make sure that the table number comes correct. Here it comes, the table according to this list is in page 2, but we know that it is in page 3. So this is in page 3. So let's go back and compile it once more. So there you are, it is in page 3. So this has been explained before. Alright, this comes to the end of this part in which we explained the tables. We will now explain how to create figures using the command called include graphics. So for this, we need to include this package called graphics. Okay. Suppose I go to the bottom of this and say the command is as follows: begin figure include graphics width equals I have a file called iitb.pdf. There you are. I include it here with the width of this figure coming out to be equal to that of the line width. Let me end this figure, compile this. There you are. So it has also been put at the top of this page. Alright, what I will do is, let me just, so this is for if I want to use the entire line width. Suppose I want to use 0.5, that is half a line width, then it has been made small. And note that it has been left aligned. As in the table, I can say centering, which will center this at the middle. I can also create a caption. Figure captions are created after the figure is included. Golden Jubilee logo of Bombay. Okay, as before, I can create a label and refer to it using the ref command. I can also make this list of figures appear along with the list of tables. So suppose I want list of figures also. Compile it. Compile it twice, and there it is. List of figures also comes automatically. All the figure captions will appear here. There is one last thing that I want to show you here, that is how to rotate these figures. It is done by the angle option. Suppose angle I want to rotate by 90 degrees. So let's go to this figure. Let me compile this. So this has been rotated by 90 degrees. Rotated by minus 90. Alright. So this is the way to include the figures. Here I am assuming that iitb.pdf is available. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. The beginners of LaTeX should compile after every few changes to the source document and make sure that what they have entered is correct. Thank you for listening to this tutorial. This is Kannan Maudgalya signing off. Goodbye.